The next team we're talking about in the AL East is the New York Yankees. How about that? The AL wildcard game losers last year finished 92-70. So a winning season. Unbelievable. They won 92 games. I don't know how that happened. One of the more odder years of Yankees baseball last year. They ranked bottom 5 in all the important offensive stats and top 5 in all the pitching stats. And when people look at their lineup right now, like if you were to give the lineup to a third-party fan or whatever, an NL West fan, they'd be like, oh, that offense is good, but that pitching stinks. And it's like, it was the exact opposite last year. But you're right.
That's great, like party talk right there. If you want to sound like you know what the fuck you're talking about, bring that stat up. No one will believe you, and then you just bring out the old baseball reference.
It's like what we get on Twitter, like their pitching stinks and their offenses are right. It's like, well, actually, it was the opposite last year. But it's confusing, and you should be right. Jake, what do you got? What did they do?
James, they lost Gary Sanchez. Whoa, Yankee fans. Hot button. He's in Minnesota with his friend Gio Urshela. There's a big trade there. Luke Voit is with the San Diego Padres. If he plays 150 games, that guy's going to hit about 35 to 40 home runs. Corey Kluber's a Ray. Watch out for that. We'll talk about that in a minute. Brett Gardner is unsigned right now. That's an interesting topic. Tyler Wade, my doppelganger, he's on my Halos. Rugi's gone. Andrew Heendog and Clint Frazier is a Chicago Cub. A lot of names there. A lot of guys that were in the mix who they added. Anthony Rizzo resigns. Oh, Josh Donaldson at the hot corner. Literally, is going to be a hot corner with JD there. That's actually one of the more fun things heading into the season. At shortstop, they got Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. He causes a fight in our office every day. Ben Rortvedt will be behind the dish sometimes. Tim Locastro, Joely Rodriguez's guest, caught me a Marwin, Edwin Inciarte. I think those guys are going to get some run on the team this year as backups, but it's Donaldson, Rizzo, and IKF, 3 guys in the infield that should have big impacts. Trev, this rotation, I don't think people are saying it stinks. The guy at the top's legit, and the other guys that follow. We got some resumes.
There's some guys here. Yeah. There's no doubt about it. And I know, like you said, James, the name recognition isn't great. Obviously, Garrett Cole leading the way here. A really great year last year. I don't know you can say any differently than that. Second in the Cy Young voting, 15th in MVP voting, made his 4th All-Star team. Whoops. Behind him, the lefty, Jordan Montgomery. Sevy's coming back. Tyone, Nestor Cortez Jr. Is he going to be your 5th starter?
For now.
Like a swing guy. Okay. In the bullpen, gotta love the bullpen. Aroldis Chapman, Johnny Lasagna, Chad Green, Clay Holmes, Wandy Peralta. Like you said, James, this is a pitching staff that did really well last year. So you kind of say there is some, veteranship there too. So just rinse and repeat. So I don't think it's very fluky. They could do it again. Now, what about that lineup? Can they get better?
Yeah, the lineup is a really interesting one. We got Anthony Rizzo playing first base for the full year. Aaron Judge, he's a monster. If you say something bad about him, you're a dumb piece of shit.
Hello.
Love that
guy. Joey Gallo for a full year. Stanton for a full year. Josh Donaldson, Gleyber Torres, Aaron Hicks is back, Isaiah Kiner-Falefa, Kyle Higashioka. So the Yankees got marginally better at the corners and then better at shortstop and catcher defensively, but fully punted on offense at shortstop and catcher in favor of getting better at defense. So that's the silly equation Yankees fans are fighting each other about is, okay, Rizzo's better than Voit and Donaldson's better than Gio all around and Kiner's better at defense and Higgy's better at defense, but Higgy and Kiner are so much worse at offense that the equation is like net neutral in the end. Almost. Offensively.
Trev, I'll tee you up a little more. I'll give you some of the hot buttons and you run because we talk about this on Talkin' Yanks a lot.
Yeah, I got questions. Hit me with them.
So, Jimmy mentioned the corners. I think there's general incitement there. We got a weird dose of Rizzo last year. He had a COVID thing. Might have zapped him a little bit. Excited to see what the full product really looks like with Riz this year. I think it could be a lot of fun. Same with Donaldson, electric. Joey Gallo, we got a weird taste of Gallo last year. It wasn't pretty, and that's a dude who can put up 40 ding-dongs, especially at the stadium. Pretty easy. We're excited to find out. Gleyber Torres, DJ LeMahieu, kind of hot button. Right now, DJ is supposed to be, he's listed in a utility role. He had the down year last year. He was hurt. Yankee fans expect him to be back. Hit leadoff-ish or be really good, which means there's kind of a playing time conundrum. And Gleyber was their prince that was promised. He had a bad year. He wasn't a shortstop, and they're going to find out what's going on there. So it all leads to IKF in the catcher situation. Aaron Hicks is back. He's been hurt. A team that couldn't hit last year didn't necessarily upgrade their hitting. They retooled some things, and some guys really should bounce back, but it's the scary part in Yankee land because there were so many free agents. They stayed under the cap, fake cap, excuse me. Sorry, Trevor. And
thank you.
It should have been go time for a Trevor Story Correa. Jimmy's got to add one more thing. We're Yankee guys, and then it's all you, dog.
I forgot to say DJ LeMahieu because they're acting like he's a utility guy, not a starter. Another thing that I'm very upset about. Trev, you're up.
Okay. My questions go back to the rotation. We got a couple guys who I didn't mention. I saw Devi. I saw a tweet about his fastball velocity being like at 95 or something.
Nah.
What's going on with that?
He's going
to be
to
in the mix?
No.
Not as of now. Injuries.
Luis Heel?
Injuries would have to play out for Heel, Davey, and Schmidt to get in the equation. And
we'll see
what they have.
I believe Heel's over Davey right now on like the spot starter list because he just needs to find the zone and throw strikes. Where Davey, they're still like retooling who he is as a pitcher. He's like,
last year was a disaster.
Davy's under construction.
A disaster last year for Davey.
Yeah, he's under construction.
Very young still.
Yeah, very young. Yeah,
very young
and that's why. Like I think they rushed him, and then they realized, fuck, we rushed this kid.
Okay. Yeah, a little bit of a logjam there. I love the IKF talk in the office. I'm not in the office. I do get it on text every once in a while. Like this morning I did.
Yeah, a lot of fighting in the office about this.
Yeah.
A lot of fighting.
It's hot.
You know what?
It's
you know
hot.
what this is telling me though?
It's hot.
It's good to have. It's a good problem to have. You got too many good players in that infield. That's fine. Be happy with that. It's better than having holes.
Problem is, Jake, I don't think Clough is good.
I think you're gonna like him. Like you need to see him play some ball and make some plays, get some big hits, maybe swipe some bags or something. He's gonna endear himself to the fan base. It just hasn't happened yet.
There is a chance.
That's my opinion.
Well,
there is a chance.
He needs to do that. Then the prospects, Volpe or Peraza, need to be good enough to replace him in 2 years and then be good for the next 4 years for this offseason to make sense and be the smart decision. And the odds of all of that happening are almost zero, in my opinion.
Yeah. If he hits like he did last year, I think there's going to be a lot of talk about we need somebody that can rake, but he does provide you with wins. I mean, 3.7 WAR last year. Like if you just don't look at that OPS plus, and I said you're going to get a 3.7 WAR out of your shortstop, you guys would be happy. So I know it doesn't always show up, and maybe he's not going to wow you, but at the end of the year, if he's saving runs and making plays, and you already got guys around him that can bang. Hopefully everyone stays healthy this year. You won't really have to worry about the offense.
If you can't point to another stat, like WAR does nothing for me if you can't point to the umbrella stats underneath it to explain it.
Okay.
And you can't with him. There's times where it just
defensively.
The defense has to be
defensive
special.
Metrics change every year.
And that's the thing. The Yankees haven't had special defense at short in a long time. If he has that, which I'll be honest, I don't fully know. He won a Gold Glove at third. He went to short last year, and some of the metrics loved him. So, yes, there's a % chance that if he's crazy good at defense, he swipes 20 bags like he did last year. The Yankees did need some of that, and he could be endearing. It's just scary when you went from Gary Sanchez, one of the bigger threats at the catcher position, to now you have a hole hitting-wise at the catcher position, while the hitting was the problem last year. It's a little bit of an unfair formula with IKF, with the Yankees' two top prospects also being shortstop, which has led us to come to a conclusion that IKF is there, and if he balls out, good. But I do think the Yankees internally, if you gave them some truth serum, they want him to be caught by one of their top prospects.
Or, look, sure, but he can still be good and be caught by a top prospect. Having this guy as a utility player on your team would be incredible.
Would love that.
But not over Seager, Simeon, Story, Correa.
Yeah, that's exactly, we talked about that in the chat. That's the biggest thing, is that Yankee fans were expecting one of those guys to end up there, whether it be Correa, Story, or Simeon, or Seager.
It was the biggest shortstop availability like in the history of modern baseball. And the Yankees went with 0 of them. So that's where...
Because not that they wanted IKF, but they seem to really believe in these guys. So,
it's both. They believe in him as...
right now.
Yeah, they believe in him as a stopgap. And there. But when Correa signs a deal with opt-outs and
yes,
and then Story, and all the other deals and Story can sign and move. He already
play position.
He already moved off a position. It's like, well, couldn't you? Yeah. So that's the frustration part with there. I am excited. So that's the half of it.
Yeah.
I am excited for Rizzo and Donaldson because I do think they bring a veteran presence and intensity that this Yankees team has lacked. If you listen to Talkin' Yanks, I just got jealous of the Red Sox. Of a consistent, let's fucking go after it. Yankees have lacked that for like 4 years. It's just so calm and cool and casual. So I'm excited about JD bringing intensity, Rizzo bringing stability and good defense at first, balance to the lineup. They lead the spring training in stolen bases and extra bases taken right now. So there's definitely clearly a let's be faster. And the Yankees have been vocal about the need to be faster and more athletic, which there wasn't for 3 years, and so I'm hoping that they actually do change. That being said, it's a tough division, and the pitching needs to duplicate what they did last year.
It's going to be tough. To go back on your JD point and about the lineups, if they are shuffling a lineup like they did last year, I promise you, whether it's internally and we never hear about it, or it becomes a thing and we hear about it through the media, Josh Donaldson will walk into Aaron Boone's office and say, put me in the fucking same spot in the lineup so I can prepare myself. He'll be the guy to do that. I don't know if other Yankees guys have done that. I don't know if Judge or Stanton has walked in there saying, what are we doing? But if they haven't, Josh Donaldson is not afraid to do it. And I believe Anthony Rizzo is probably the same way.
That'd be great.
Trev, I think we've told you, and if not, you're going to love this even more. Our guy Dan Rourke, biggest Yankee fan in the world, and biggest Aaron Judge fan in the world. When the trade originally went down, he was accidentally spitting poetry, Yankees poetry. And he said when they got Donaldson, they basically got the piss and vinegar that they needed, that they would have gotten from Correa without the bad feelings of getting a guy from Houston and the bad guys that have bullied him. And it was...
His exact line was, it's like getting Correa without the cheating.
And it was...
Not skill-wise.
Not skill-wise, but...
Mentality-wise.
The piss and vinegar that the Yankees genuinely have been missing between rest days and we are the Yankees without being the Yankees and trying to be a weird mix of the Rays and the Yankees that they just didn't have figured out. The lineup, especially the top 6, can be scary. We'll see what happens there. And I do think Luis Severino, we haven't really talked about him enough. His ceiling is high. His ceiling is very high when you look at his statistics. It's going to be interesting to see where he lands this year, especially later in the year if this Yankee team can meet or exceed expectations and he looks like a dude. Then the whole tone around the Yankee season changes. Yankee fans aren't banking on it, I think. But they should be able to pitch enough. The bullpen is really solid. And I don't know. I mean, it's almost, will the prospects actually get the call? And what do they look like in this division? Because it's good.
I think Hicksy coming back really helps.
Could.
I hope.
It could.
I hope he gets out to a good start offensively and kind of rides that. I think he's going to bring good defense to center. He's kind of what he does.
He's going the other way a lot in spring, and I'm sure there's a specific emphasis on that during spring. But
seeing it. All big.
All right.
There's an all big boy outfield, Trev, that they'll roll out some days. Gallo, Judge, Stanton.
The Towers. What's the over-under?
Hicks is big too. Don't leave him out of that conversation.
How tall is Hicks?
They're different kind of big.
he's like normal baseball player tall.
Yeah, he's not like tall, but he's a big boy.
No,
you're not gonna say he's small.
No, the Towers though, they're 6'5" or taller, or 6'6" and taller.
Freaks.
Over unders 91.5.
Mm-hmm. 92 games last year, right?
What was 92 last year?
Yeah.
What was the Red Sox?
89.5 or something.
I don't get it.
No, 85.5, right?
I don't get it.
The numbers love this Yankees team.
Yeah.
Like the analytics love this Yankees team.
85.5 for the Red Sox.
85 for the Red Sox and 91 for the Yankees. These are up to date. Or did these numbers get put in? Don't tell me these numbers have been put in before all the signings as well.
No, I think they've been updating.
I put those numbers in 3 days ago.
No, these are live.
I'll double check them and see if they've changed again.
They're scared of the Red Sox pitching. The Yankees pitching grades out well, and there should be bounce back guys on offense. Part of me understands it. It is just tough to see, and I think Jimmy's posture is delivering the message. Last year was a tough watch. 2020 was a tough watch. So Donaldson really has to change part of the culture. A couple guys have to have bounce back years. DJ LeMahieu should absolutely bounce back. He was hurt.
I'm not taking the under.
We got a weird sample from Gallo. Like, there are solutions here. It's genuinely, as Yankee fans, you have to do some mental gymnastics.
I'm not taking the under.
So you're taking the over.
I didn't say that.
Okay. Trev?
I'll start. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I'm taking the under.
Okay.
Okay. Could happen. Jake?
And right there. I'm going to take the under.
I believe in DJ. I believe in Sevy.
You do?
I'm Dan Rourke now.
You believe in Sevy? I mean, I want to.
To a degree. I
mean, he could pitch 2 games and but I want to. I love Sevy.
Like, he came back last year. He looked solid. He had a full season. Like, if Sevy pitches 20, 22 games, like, I believe in Luis Severino.
Yeah, I do. I forgot it. Yeah.
So, I'll do it. Like, maybe if I'm dumb, good. Give me the over.
Rather be optimistic and wrong than pessimistic.
We're the New York
and
Yankees,
right.
babe. We're the New York Yankees.
That's why I'm not taking the under.
What was the over-under for them again? 90?
1.5.
91.5.
They won 92 last year, and it was like an awful season.
I mean, Yankees have won 91 or more since 2017, minus 2020, Avi.
The fun thing is, some people are like, you Yankees fans are so pishy. And it's like, even the Yankees admit last year was awful.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how they won.
Weird vibes.
I don't know. Like, even like the players and Cashman and Boone, as everyone said, like, yeah, we need to change the vibes because it was just sad.
They had like 2 different good 30-game stretches or so, and the rest was awful.
All right, moving on.